Well, hello, and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the audio edition. This is the edition for the people who are multitaskers and who want to strengthen their imagination. Imagination, very important because it is key to your ability to manifest. And everything around us is meant to distract us, is meant to minimize our ability to imagine. Because that keeps us in a powerless position, not a powerful position. And so, if you can get into a manifesting mode using your intuition, among other things, you become very powerful. But when I say that, don't slip into the 3D, because that's kind of negating everything that you're trying to do in terms of your manifesting. It's very simple for most people to go, oh, geez, I want more money. Oh, geez, I want a better job. You're staying in the 3D. You're staying in a system that has imprisoned you. That's not to say that you can't get around it, but it becomes a heck of a lot more difficult. You multiply the odds against you. What you have to think is outside the box. And this is where the imagination comes in. This is how I see my life. This is how I feel my life. And then let the details fill in. That's what your imagination is used for, and that's what helps you to manifest. If you stay in the 3D, if you stay in the current system, again, not to say that you cannot override the system, but boy, it takes a heck of a lot more work and maybe even a heck of a lot more time, and it may not even work. So we work with your innate internal powers, the ones that we ignore so often, and yet we know surround us. So let's get to your imagination, and let's do the audio version. There will just be a picture of the card spread. This allows you not to get distracted with moving images on the screen, because research over years, many years, has indicated that if you're paying attention to moving images on a screen, over a period of time your imagination dulls because you give into the screen, you give into the images there, as opposed to conjure up your own. So, what we do here is give you a good reading, tell a story, and let your imagination fill in the parts, the pieces, what things look like. And it's different for everybody. That's what makes it so good, so powerful. So let's begin. Bottom row, center card. It's the Oracle card of Message in a Bottle. Okay, historically, a message in a bottle was a message, paper message, they hand wrote it, put it into a bottle and throw it out in the ocean or lake or wherever. Not knowing where it would end up, but hoping that somebody would get it and then maybe respond. In a way, that is what the universe is doing to you, for you, because of you. There is a message that has either just come to you or will come to you shortly. It could be an emotional message, could be an intuitive message, maybe a combination. But something unexpected will come to you that will open up all new possibilities, whole new situation. Now, whether you follow up on that or not is an entirely different story, but the message is coming. Again, intuitively, emotionally, maybe a combination. Somebody, some situation, something opens up that door and wow, I never saw this before. Let's get more explanation. Let's go to the far left, bottom row. We got the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is nostalgia. We know that. It may be someone from your past. It may be you just get news about someone from your past, and just hearing about them brings back images, brings back memories, brings back that intuitive or emotional message in a bottle. And that will have a profound effect. Now, it could be the individual themselves, but something from your past connects with you, and that will allow you to check out this message in a bottle. Now, what do you do with it? Next card, Chariot. Chariot is a very important card. It is a card of direction. Okay, self-control, willpower, focus. So, as I said, this message would probably be intuitive, it'd probably be emotional, could be a combination, but intuitive and emotional, they're not very solid, right? We can't grab onto them. They're not objects that you can go, ooh, I got it, I'm holding it in my hand. It doesn't work that way. So that's where the Chariot comes in. The Chariot says, okay, here's this message or person from the past, something from the past, some link from the past. It opens up something in you. What are you going to do with it? That's what the Chariot's all about. It is not a question of forcing or demanding. The Chariot is more passive-aggressive. That's not the word I'm looking for. But I think you understand what I'm saying. It's a situation where you have a chance to direct using just your willpower. Okay? How open are you to this message from the past? It may not be a big deal either. It may be something, somebody on the outside looking in going, what the hell? That's no big deal. But it is. It resonates with you somehow. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Well, one of the things that you can do is the next card over, the King of Cups. King of Cups can be a bit of a lush, can be moody, but he can also be very loving, very wise, very tolerant. He can help. Very subtle influence. And the King of Cups talks about love, right? Cups are love. So I'm thinking, because we're doing this manifestation card and it's all about you, that's where it should be, different from other tarot readings, a little bit of self-love probably go a long way right now. I deserve this. I'm really glad that I got this message. I'm glad that I'm in a position to do something about it. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it quite yet, but I'm open to it. And that's really the key for the King of Cups. To love and appreciate yourself enough that this message from the past, this unexpected little touch, and again, it doesn't have to be words. It could be a feeling, could be an intuitive situation. You pick that up and you run with it. Why? Because you deserve it. King of Cups, you deserve it. And even though it may not, although it could be a big deal, but it may not be a big deal, you move with it. You grow with it. And the final card, bottom row, really kind of highlights all of it. The High Priestess. Remember, we're talking about an intuitive or emotional message. This is leaning more towards intuitive, but the King of Cups says it may also be emotional. Six of Cups may also say, in fact, it could very likely be both. Very difficult to kind of determine right now. We do know the High Priestess has to do with intuition, higher powers, subconscious mind. So I'm thinking that this message in a bottle, this message from the past, either person or some sort of an image from the past, you have to direct yourself to the future. It will ignite a fire, so to speak, under you. I mean, it will get your attention. It will get your interest. Question is, what do you do with it? Let's go to the top. Queen of Swords. Top left, Queen of Swords. Swords are thoughts, ideas. Queen of Swords, very perceptive, very clever, very realistic, straight talking, no BS with her. And that means no BS with herself. Very often we can talk ourselves in and out of just about anything. Oh, we're good at it. All depends on where we are emotionally. Maybe even spiritually. Queen of Swords says, no, I'm going to be straight ahead. I'm going to be very logical. I am going to speak the truth to me. And then work from there. And that's a good idea because you got a decision. While this message may be emotional and or intuitive or both, combination, it brings up a decision. Two of Swords. Two of Swords says there's kind of a stalemate because you have two paths to go, two ways to go. Now you decided to go with the cherry. You decided to move ahead. Good, we got that part. But now there's two choices. There's this and there's this other option. And what do I do? That's why the Queen of Swords is so important. You have to really be honest with yourself. You have to be logical with yourself. And the temptation, next card over, is, again, the King of Cups. So you have two King of Cups cards in the same reading. You get two of the same card. Different decks, of course, but two of the same cards. That's important. The King of Cups is a very subtle influence. So it's not going to be a big deal. I mean, if it was a big deal, then you could rationalize. You go, oh, well, yeah, I have to because this and that and that and that and that. And you could, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I don't think the message is going to be that overwhelming. And by virtue of the fact that it's going to be either emotional, intuitive, or a combination thereof, it won't be perceptive or won't be perceived by other people around you. It's going to be your journey viewed by yourself. And that's why you have to be a straight talker to make the right decision. A decision that supports you, that loves you, because then, the last card says you can do your magic. The magician actually realizes his potential. He has determination, he has skill, yes, but he understands what his potential is. And I believe that will be at the core of this intuitive emotional message that comes from the past. Something will click with you deeply, but not obviously, at least not to other people. To you, yes. And that's when you have to decide to go forward. That's where you have to go forward with love and giving for yourself. Use your intuitive abilities. Be honest with yourself so that you get the best decision possible. What it will call for, and this is the final card, up top, middle card, vice versa card in reverse, it will call for an 8 of Cups. You're going to have to walk away from something that you're used to. Very often people will say, well, I love. Used to and love very often mean the same thing for us. Well, it's been around. They've been around all along, so I must love them. No, you're used to them. The connection is not there. You know that. But the point of the matter is this, that this thing or person from the past is going to connect with you on a very deep level. You have to decide you are going to do what is best for you in a very loving, supportive way. Take what you're intuiting, what you're feeling, and mix that with your thoughts. Think this thing through, feel this thing through, and decide. And I suspect it means that you're going to be walking away from something or somebody. You're used to this thing or person being in your life. That's what's going to make it so doggone difficult. But that's ultimately what it's going to do. You're going to set yourself free. That's the message in the bottle. Freedom. If you choose to be free. On some level, that's what you're heading for. You got all the tools. You have everything that you need. You can do this. You just have to make the decision. Everything else will fall into play. That message in a bottle, it's a biggie. And that's the reading for today. We'll have another Manifested Tarot reading tomorrow. I do a brand new one every day, 365. I hope you're here with me. If not, between now and the next time we do Manifest Tarot together, as always, peace and blessings.